Hi everyone, this is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. In the last class, that was the class 11, we saw what is log4j, what are the different log levels, right? And we went through the configuration file log4j2.xml. We are using log4j2 instead of log4j1. And we have already gone through what is this appenders, right? Where exactly we're trying our log to be generated. We have used the two appenders. One is for the console and another one is for the file. And for each we had a class file log4j2 example class file, and we had few log levels defined there, right? And depending upon our root level, it was going, and it was from the those class, it was just printing those uh, log steps, right? So if you see the this one, right, so we had like if it is fatal, it will only print the fatal. If it is error, log level is mentioned as error, it will print error and fatal. So similarly, when it is log level is debug, it will print debug info one error fatal, right? So in mostly what we are going to do in the framework, we are going to use the log.info, and optionally we can use log.debug. So depending upon your organization, like how exactly you are coding in your organization, you can stick to that approach, right? So usually if you see, we'll go with the log.info, and at this info root level we have to specify that one. Okay, so this is the all about the log4j that we have learned yesterday, and today we'll see how we can extend this or implement this to our existing framework. Okay, so what are the changes we need to do to the test class, base steps, right? And as well as the page class, right? These three things are going to get changed. So let's see. So let's start with the test class first. Okay, so what exactly changes we are going to do in the test class? So in test class, anyhow, we have to define the logger, right? And after defining the logger, let's go here, tc open login page, right? So here if you see, we don't have any logger related information, so let's define the logger information. So I'll say uh, private logger log. Okay, so let's say log, and this logger should come from your apache.log4j. Okay, this logger, right? Search for dependency, I can directly put from here, right? Yesterday we have seen uh, log org.apache. So, so import, so let's say org dot apache dot, and yeah, org.apache dot logging dot log4j, right? Dot logger. We have logger over here, see. Okay, so now we have implemented the logger, right? So imported the logger, and we're saying private logger log. So first thing is you have to define the log variable, and then what we need to do, we have to go and see the test method. So we have a test method over here, and inside the test method we have to initialize, right? We have to initialize the log, right? How to initialize that one? So in order to do that, we need to go and use the get logger method of the class log manager. Okay, so if you have remember yesterday, we also did the same. So I'll say log equals to log manager. Okay, this is also coming from your org apache logging.log4j, right? So log manager dot. Okay, so here we have to use the get logger method, right? So get logger, and what is the string name is what you want to be printed, right? So we want the class name to be printed there. So in that case, how you can dynamically get, I can directly give that tc01 open login page within the double quote, or there is another way. We can give this dot get class dot get name, right? So it will dynamically get the class name. Okay, so log equals to, so whatever the log we have defined here, so log equals to log manager dot get logger. So this is the class, right? And this is the static method of that class, and you pass this dot get class dot get name. It will give you the name of the class during the runtime dynamically, right? So we are done with the log creation, log variable defined. So now we have to start putting this log.info instead of a out statement, system.out.println we are not going to use. So for each step, what we are going to do, for each step of the action in the test class, we are going to put some log messages, right? So let's say here homepage dot click sign up or login link. So this is the one action we're going to do. So let's put a log message over here, log.info. Okay, so here I can say click on click on sign up or login link. Sign up or login link, like that we can say click on sign up or login link. So this is my this will say okay, this is the step I'm going to perform. Okay, so then the step will be performed by calling the page class object page class method through the page class method from the page class object, right? So this will do that particular action. After that again, so if you see homepage dot verify title, so here in the verify title again we can put a log.info, right? So here we can say verify sign up or login. Okay, page title, verify page title. Okay, verify page title, and here we are going to verify the page title. So now what will happen if I run this one? Okay, so let's run this one and see what exactly is going to happen. So right click, run. My expectation is I should be able to see this log.info related messages on the console. Apart from that, in the page classes we have our SOP statements, right? So we'll be seeing those also. Okay, so let's see what is happening. Okay, browser from dot properties file is Chrome. Okay, so this is coming from your base steps, right, or base class. And in the base class we have not yet implemented our logger, so that this is just SOP statement from the base step. So let's wait for some time and see in the test case execution. So starting for the first time, so it takes some time. So let's wait for some more time. Okay, so browser started, launch the URL, it will expand now. Yes, and going to that page, and then okay, so now if you see, so expected page title, everything is working fine. So our intention is to look at the log file, right? So if you see info com.automation exercise test case, see here is exactly, if you see, this is the fully qualified name, right, class name. So because of this dot get class dot get name, we are able to see. Okay, so now we can see the control is in the test case now, right? So if you see, the complete fully qualified test case path is displayed over here, and this is what, click on the sign up or login link, and then verify page title, right? So expected page title is automation exercise sign up or login assertion passed. I think for clicking we have not given any SOP statements, right? So yes, it just clicked, and here we had some SOP statement, and those SOP statements are printed over here, right? So this is like in the test case, if you want to implement the logger, this is the way you can implement the logger, like private logger log, and then initialize that log with the log manager dot get logger, this dot get class dot get name, right? So now let's go and see how we can extend it to the base class, right? So when you go to the base class, let's see these errors are coming because of this browser version mismatching, so you can ignore them as of now. Okay, so if you want to run, you can have the same versions. It should give without any, it should run without any error. Okay, so now let's see, so this is the test case is done. Now go to the base steps. So in the base class also we need to implement the logger. So here what are the changes we need to do for the base class? Okay, so if you see, again we have to define the log over here. So here let's define the logger, private logger log. Okay, so here logger, so I can go here and let's copy this logger. Okay, so let's import. Okay, so now set log4j.logger. Okay, sorry, caps. Okay, so now if you see, I have defined the private logger log. So why exactly private, right? So because I want this log instance to be used in this class only, right? So when there is a call from the test class, so test class has its own logger object, and again the page class or the base steps is again having its own log object. And similarly, when the control goes to the page class, that also should have its own log object, right? So we should not mix like one log object, we should not pass, right? Because in the console or in the log file, I want to see which class log is getting executed, right? So now if you see here, I'm saying private logger log. Here again also I'm defining, and then if you see, let's go to the before class method, right? And in the before class, right, so where is the setup method? So here is the setup method. In the setup method, let's try to add the logging capabilities here. So how to do that? Again the same, log equals to log manager dot get logger, right? So log manager dot get logger, so string name. So instead of the string name what we saw last time, so instead of giving the class name directly, we can give this dot get class dot get name, but this is not a good thing. We'll look into that why we should not give this. Okay, so let me give like this dot get class dot get name. So dynamically it should ideally get this class name and it should display in the log, right? So this is done. After that we can go ahead and give the few, yeah, few steps also if you want we can give, right? So browser from properties file, right? So let's update this SOP statements, right? So whatever the SOP statement is there, we have to update it with the log.info, right? Browser from properties file is okay, this one will move to log.info, log.info. Okay, and what else? Okay, URL from properties file, so this also we can update to log.info, log.info. Okay, so these two things we have updated. Okay, so browser, yeah, so these two things we are going to update. And then what else? Let's run this one. We don't have any other SOP statements over here, right? Log.info, log.info. Okay, so now base steps we already added the log project capability. So now let's run test case and let's see what exactly is going to happen now. Okay, so okay, started. Okay, maximize the window, clicked on sign up or login page and then closed. Okay, cool. So if you see here, right, so what happened, if you see here, first is com.automation exercise test case tc01, open login page. So it is giving the test case fully qualified package name, right, path. So browser from dot properties file is Chrome, but this is not coming from the test case. This is coming from the page class, right? Sorry, this is coming from the base steps. This is not from the test class. So why it is happening? Because the control flows from the test to base class first, right? So that's why it is taking, when we are saying this dot get class dot get name in base step, so it is taking the test case name. So instead of this one, we can give the fully qualified name of the I can give like this. So right, so here instead of giving this name, right, in the base step, we can give the directly fully qualified name we can give here. So instead of this one, double quote. Okay, so let's give com dot automation exercise dot com dot automation exercise dot automation utilities dot base steps. Okay, base steps. So this is what I'm saying. So instead of giving the dynamically capturing the class name, I'm giving this is the com.automation exercise dot automation utilities dot base steps. So let's run and let's see this time whether this one is coming in the log or not, right? So let's see. Okay, okay, done. Okay, so now if you see here, right, okay, so pass, right. So if you see here com dot automation exercise automation utilities dot base steps. So if you see, so the first thing is first control flows go to the before class, right? In the before class it goes to the setup, and here since we have explicitly giving the base class name, right, the fully qualified path, right, of the packages and dot class name, so it is saying okay, so this is the time of the execution, and this is the main and info, this is log level is info, and here this is the package or the class name, right? And then browser from dot properties file is Chrome, right? And similarly now again the control went to the test class. Okay, so if you see no, not test class, now again the control is in the same base steps and it identified the URL, right? So it is printing the URL also, and after that, after executing these two things in the base steps, it went to the test case. And in the test case if you see, so this is the first steps, click on the sign up or login link, and this is the second step, so click on the verify the page title, right? So these are the two test cases related logs we saw. So if we do like this, we will be able to distinctly identify in which class which statement is going to get executed, where is the flow is going, right? So initially we saw, so first in the base step we got the browser related information, and then we got the URL, and then through the test case we did click and we verified the page title, right? So till now we have implemented our log4j to the test class as well as the base class, right? But again there are few statements inside the page class also, so we need to make those changes as well, right? So let's go to the page class and see how we can do the changes. So let's go to the home page, and here also if you see, okay, we have to define the logger. So let's import this one in the home page. Okay, and we can again that copy this one, private logger log. Okay, so let's go to the home page, and here defined private logger log. Okay, so now to the private logger log, again we can replace these things, but before that we have to again initialize it, right? So inside our home page constructor, let's define this one. So where is the constructor? So here is the one, right? So after this, let's say log equals to, okay, so log equals to, let's say log manager dot get logger, this dot get class dot get name. So here we are defining inside the constructor. So what happens whenever this class object is getting created, the constructor is initialized. So constructor is called and the object is initialized, and here the log is also getting initialized, right? So if we dynamically get the class name, here it will work. There it should not have any problem, right? So now if you see, we can go and update those home page related SOP statement with the log.info. Okay, so let's see where are the SOP statements. Okay, so now let's say log.info, and here also log.info, log.info, done. And any other? I think these two. Okay, cool. So only these two statements were SOP statements were there. I replaced them with the log.info. So now let's run this tc01. So test case, run the test case, and let's see. Okay, so this is from the base class. Okay, test case is flashed. So now let's understand this log. So if you see, so first it went to the base class, and from the base class it read the browser related information. Then from the base class it read the URL, and then it went to the test classes, open login page, click on the sign up or login link, and then it went, the control goes to the open login page, the same test case, verify page title, and here verify page title, it went to the page class home page, expected page title, and we did the assertion, right? Assertion also it is verified in the home page, right? If you see this one, right, so you clearly understand, can understand, right, how the flow is going. So first the flow went to the base step. From the base step, it did like few operation it did from the base step. So whatever is going to get executed, you can give log.info, right? So that you can, by going through here only, you can understand like where exactly your script is failing, right? So base step and what is the control flow, you can clearly identify, right? So base steps, these things happened, and then it went to the test case, and in the test case it clicked on this link, and then it verified the page title, and this method is again called the home page methods, right? This right, this method called the home page method. So in the home page, this is, if you see, the control is in the page class dot home page, right? So these two statements are there, and this is how you see the each and every step, like from where the base step is getting executed, where the test case is getting executed, and where the page class is getting executed, right? The entire detail you will see on the console. And here also if you go and see app.log, we also have the same thing, right? So if you see, this is from yesterday's execution, and these are from today's execution, right? So right, so here if you see this home page, let me expand this one a little bit. Okay, so if you see the first when we ran, right, so today's, so we have implemented only to the test class, right? So this is, if you see, these are from the test classes, right? And then we implemented to base steps and the test case. Okay, so if you see, these are the base steps and test case related execution, and then we implemented to base steps, right? These are the base steps, then test case and the page class. This is that log. So if you see, the each time the log is getting generated, it will be going to be appended with the last line of the previous executions report, whatever is generated in the log, right? And one more thing regarding this log file, whatever we are generating, we should not push them to the remote repository, git repository. So because see, whatever you are running, that is not at all like we should not push it, like no one wants to see that log. It is for your own purpose, so it can, you can store it in your local. If there is a requirement, you put it into the git, it is fine. Otherwise we should not put this. So you can add this dot log file to your git ignore file, So if you want to see the steps how exactly to add this to the git ignore, you can refer to the git playlist. There I have clearly documented how to add to the git ignore file, right? So yeah, this is all to this session, guys, right? So implementing the log in our framework. So if you guys have any doubt, please ping me in the please put your comments in the comment section. I'll be getting back to you as soon as possible. And if you guys are really enjoying these sessions, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel and share it to your friends so that they can also be get benefited out of it. Okay, so we'll again meet in the next class, and there we'll see, right, we are doing the assertions in the page class, right, which is not a good approach. So we'll see how to move this to the test class. Okay, so yeah, that's all for the day. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.